A lot of people in the gacha space are contributing to the problem of elitism, and let me explain why. Elitists in these games are primarily focused on the amount of money a person has spent. The more money you spent, the more likely they are to invalidate your achievements and sabotage your fun of the game. Elitism is described as the attitude or behavior of a person who regard themselves as an elite. In our case, it's a group of people who believe they are superior in terms of ability or qualities. They believe that their way of playing the game is superior to your way of playing the game, and you wouldn't understand that unless you experienced what they experienced. But let's slow down. How did we even get to this point? In the gacha space, all types of players exist. We got your whales, we got your dolphins, which are honestly just whales that made up the term dolphin to cope. And then we have your free-to-play players. These days, free-to-play players make up a large portion of all gacha gamers, but it didn't used to be this way. The gacha genre used to be pretty niche, and almost everyone in it spent money. It was not until a certain game came out during the global pandemic that caused this to change. With nothing to do and people stuck inside their homes, people flocked to the internet to find things to do. And one of these things was the massively popular gacha game from MiHoYo, Genshin Impact. Genshin quickly took over the world, attracting the mainstream audience and introducing the gacha genre to an audience that had never even heard of what a gacha was before Genshin. The size of Genshin Impact during the pandemic cannot be understated. Some of my 40-year-old uncles would come up to me during family gatherings and be like, "Oh hey son, oh hey, do you play Genshin Impact?" What? Have you seen a girl Mona? She got a flat ass. This, in my opinion, was the starting point of when the cultures of gacha games and the cultures of normal games started to mix. For veteran gacha players, spending money is kind of just a part of the game. When a new character comes out, they're kind of just like, "Ooh, she's hot. I'ma get her. Ooh, he looks cool as hell. I'ma get him too. Ooh, she pulls her sword out of her boobies? Yeah, where's my wallet, bro?" But for most other gaming communities, this is not the case. Not at all. Spending hundreds of dollars on one single game is like committing a crime. You guys know about the $500 faker Ari skin from League of Legends, right? Well, if you get found with it in game, all 9 other players will bully you. But the funny thing is, the amount of money that people spend in other games will never compare to the amount of money that people spend on gacha games. Someone pulled 200 copies of Fei Xiao's limited weapon in Honkai Star Rail. What is this? Hello? So I did the math, right? And the average cost of this act of terrorism is $25,600. I guess some Chinese princes out there just get bored sometimes, I guess. The influx of new players that either can't spend money or don't want to spend money created an entire subgenre in the gacha industry, and it revolved around being a free-to-play player. Being a free-to-play player makes you relatable to other free-to-play players. Like, damn, you didn't have enough summons so you missed Aglaia? Well, I missed my 50-50 on Tribi, so I'ma skip my day and get Castris. I think I'm gonna save up for the next 7 banners so I can get Farina's weapon on her rerun. This is how poor people have conversation. A very popular and entertaining form of content is the free-to-play experience. How far and how well can you do in a gacha game without spending money? When the goal of the company is to get you to spend money, what can the free-to-play players do to catch up to the spenders? Doro44 is doing a new free-to-play Genshin account for fun, and Mr. Pokey is doing a new free-to-play Honkai Star Rail account named Bob. But the only motherfucker who should be praised for starting content like this is Enviosity. Like, let's look at this, right? My free-to-play daily routine, highly recommended, 2.2 million views. My free-to-play management and free-to-play daily routine, Genshin Impact Guide, 750,000 views. $0 spent, 6 months, free-to-play only, 700,000 views. Being a min-maxer in these games does take a lot of effort. And like, genuinely, if you are a free-to-play min-maxer in one of these games, you are working minimum wage labor hours. You're grinding so hard for so little. Most of the time, 10 hours of your grinding is worth less than a $5 top-up. When these games even have the ability to function this way, it can foster a lot of frustrated players. Players that will now hold animosity towards other players that didn't have to work as hard as they did, but are achieving the same result. Sometimes a better result than they could ever achieve as a free-to-play. With such a radical difference of spenders in the same community, the amount of money you spend in a gacha game has now become a glorified competitive ranking system, where the less you spend, the higher rank you are. These single-player games have somehow created a sense of superiority in some players. This is a genuine conversation that I've seen. Yo, let's go! I finally cleared floor 12, dude! Oh, that's cool, but didn't you spend money in the game though? So like, what's the point? What? What is that? Didn't you spend money in this game too? No, dude, I'm free to play plus. I only buy the monthly pass and the battle pass. Bitch, free to play plus. Being free to play has now become a way of life. The true free to play experience, that's a term I've heard a lot these days. I already said this in a recent video where I talked about Mr. Poke's free to play account, but there is no such thing as the true free to play player experience. In every gacha game community, people have made being free to play a badge of honor. This badge of honor has gone so far that it's become common to invalidate someone's opinion or achievements just because they spent money. No matter how you feel about Mr. Poke's controversial power creep take, it's disingenuous to invalidate his opinion based only on the fact that his account isn't free to play. I don't think you can call an account free to play if you have another group of people doing it for you. I trust the person who was forced to do all the story in HSR, not Mr. Poke. He can't say he's being free to play and not put in all the work the free to play player would. Guys, we gotta stop stretching the definition of a free to play account. Did the account spend money? No? Then no matter what, it is a free to play account. Sure, Mr. Poke's free to play account is run by account managers, but that doesn't make his account status not free to play. It is so pointless to call an account not free to play because of this and that. The true conversation that should be happening is if Mr. Poke's account is relatable to most free to plays or not. And that's exactly what I tried to explain under this thread. But then I got destroyed by infallible logic. No. It's not a stretch. Let's say you have some coal to mine in a coal mine, but you send 4 people to do it 24/7 for you instead. Then come out of there squeaky clean, get the money, which is not much, but when you're free to do whatever you want while your 4 coal mining managers did all dirty work. You know, I've read this comment 10 times, I still don't know what's going on. He's talking about some coal mining, I don't know. Relatable. That's a word I see a lot these days, right? Having relatability. Let's say you're just like a casual whale, right? And you post your endgame clear somewhere because, I don't know, you like the game, you know, and you cleared with your favorite character. Hold on, new concept. You're having fun? So this is a post that I found on the Acheron mains subreddit from 7 months ago. Another MLC refresh, another Acheron 0 turn clear. I give thanks to our goddess Acheron for blessing my MLC with the perfect 0 turn clear. Aventurine was departed before he can even take any action. Glory to her holiness. So this is clearly just someone who loves Acheron, right? Like he's just having a good time. Glory to her holiness. He's E6 Acheron, E6 Xiao Xiao, E2 Sparkle, E1 Robin. Like he's clearly just a whale, and like on his free time he just kind of has fun with the game, you know? Like even their language is kind of memey, like our goddess Acheron. And he also posted it in the Acheron mains subreddit, so you know he's just having a good time, you know? Like surely people in this subreddit will, you know, have a sense of humor. All I see is money, money, money. Well, if you don't zero cycle with that team, you're doing something very wrong. Oh my god, this comment has 82 upvotes. The main post is giga downvoted. Are you having fun? You better fucking stop. Stupid. Even if you read his replies, you can kind of just tell he's just trying to play the game, right? Like, well, if you don't talk about that, you're wrong. Thank goodness I didn't mess that up. I actually want to improve my Firefly team a bit more. Not sure how to improve it further besides getting Eidolons for Harmony MC. Yeah, get downvoted. Give praise to Acheron, for she truly has no equal. Why are people mad? OP is just an Acheron main in body, spirit, and bank account. It's alright, as long as Acheron gets enough love, it's fine. Wait, how come your Harmony MC is not E6? Because I can't find the time to collect all those treasure chests. I'm doing it bits by bits now. Do you have a job? You have too much work to play the game? Yeah, you're getting downvoted, buddy. In these communities, you will not feel welcome as a whale. You don't have to be a whale. You can just be someone who saved a lot for your favorite character and then invested highly into them. But then you gotta be ready for your endgame clears to be called pointless. You have more chances to feel unwelcome just because you spent money, just because your level of investment went over their arbitrary line of what they consider relatable. The thing I find so funny about these people is that they take pride in suffering through the video game. The main thing I hear from these players is how much suffering they're going through, how much suffering they had to go through to get a character. And you're not one of us if you didn't suffer like we had to. Listen, man, if grinding the game for 10 extra pulls is suffering to you, why are you even doing the grinding in the first place? At what point would you allow yourself to enjoy the game without being so jaded that other people didn't have to suffer as much as you did? In fact, you didn't have to suffer. You just chose to suffer. It's a self-inflicted unhappiness. These types of gacha players have a severe case of free-to-play syndrome. Free-to-play syndrome is when you start believing that you're superior because you didn't spend money, because you beat the game with less resources than the other people. This type of elitism fuels tribalism and will only cause more negativity to be spread around the community. Free-to-play syndrome will make you start believing that only other free-to-plays will understand you, and any account that's above your low standard of what a free-to-play player can achieve is pointless to you. Both are E6. He will destroy any MLC no matter what. That's even more pointless, lol. On the release of Honkai Star Rail, me and my friends all played during the first week. And let me just say, all of us wanted Scylla. We were all doing single pulls off cooldown. The second we hit 160 Stellar Jades, we were all free to play at this point, so we all had the same exact amount of resources. And I eventually hit pity and got my Scylla at 79 summons. One of us got her pretty early at 46 summons, but this other guy, he is always unlucky in the gacha games. He lost the 50-50 at 83 pity. But then he proceeded to go all the way up to hard pity, back up to 81. So this guy spent 50 pulls for his copy. I spent around 80 pulls for my copy, and this guy spent 160 pulls for his copy. The fact that gacha games even allow stuff like this to happen inherently removes any consistency in the power of free-to-play accounts. And the free-to-play experience, full of grinding and struggles people talk about, doesn't really follow a consistent standard anyways. My 100 free-to-play pulls from doing nothing and only collecting dailies can be a limited 5-star and their weapon. Your 120 pulls after 50 hours of grinding can end up being a Chi-Chi. Guys, let's stop putting a badge of honor on being free-to-play. The gacha system makes the free-to-play experience way too inconsistent to be able to slap a label on it. A free account can be 2 times stronger than a spending account if they get luckier. And it happens all the time. It's great to be proud of your own achievements, but let's just enjoy the game together. You know, whether you spent $0 or spent $1,000. No need to go on like a big ego trip because you cleared MLC 1 turn faster or something. And I can assure you that people can understand some elements of the free-to-play experience without being directly free-to-play themselves. Despite all of this, I can definitely say that some of the coolest people I've met on the internet are from gacha games. So it's not all bad, you know, the world is healing. But the amount of money you guys are willing to spend on anime bitches is a little concerning sometimes. But no matter how much you end up wasting on anime bitches, I will be there. Will you? Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Make sure you gamble responsibly. Okay, bye.